Hey guys, I'm really excited to be here with my longtime client, Ryan. How you doing, Ryan? Thanks for taking the time to jump on and join me.
Yeah, of course. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, always love having you on here. And look, I just want to kind of celebrate a bit because recently you've really picked things up a lot. You've had some great new developments in your business. Um,
Mhm.
from this time last year, your income is up by, I believe, 100% or
Yep.
thereabouts. That's pretty
Yeah.
significant.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that?
Feels great, obviously, to be able to essentially double. It feels great. Just brings a nice peace of mind, watching things grow, everything feels more in alignment with what I want. Everything is going great. So I can't complain at all, dude. It feels great.
Yeah, and I just want to kind of touch on something for a minute. You know, it's not like the income just keeps going up all the time, right? There's periods where it kind of drops off. There's periods where clients finish up. There's periods where it's
Mhm.
slow for a little bit. And um, what would you say? What would you say about that? I mean, if you look at it over the long term, yeah, overall
Mhm.
it's gone up by 100%. But um, what kind of happens when it goes down? What do you have to? I mean, what kind of stuff do we work on to get things back
Yeah.
where they should be?
I mean, it's honestly a lot of it goes back to, like ebbs and flows. Like I know that anybody who's in business knows there's going to be good periods, bad periods. And honestly, those periods where, it kind of dips back down, that's kind of where I need you the most is, to keep me grounded, reinforce, the like that's where I really count on you because as anybody who's in a business where it's not just a straight salary, those valleys can be a little bit tough mentally, and you can kind of get away from what is working, just trying to figure out what you should be doing, what you shouldn't. And that's where your help is coming the most, is like, when I do have those months where it's like, all right, I had like, three clients finish up and completed, and my income drops a little bit. That's where having you in my corner to kind of just support me through that, keep me in the right frame of mind, then also give me the tools to navigate my way out of that has been the most helpful.
Yeah, 100%. And it's when yeah, you said it yourself, right? When we're in business, when you're in business for yourself, it can feel very isolating, and it's not always smooth sailing, right? There's peaks and troughs, and over time you can kind of look at the data and look at how things have gone over an extended period, and you can start to recognize the different seasons in your business. Like
Mhm.
there's times where everything's going well and you've got tons of clients and tons of leads and making tons of sales, and and you're kind of having to spend most of your time servicing the clients you do have. But then
Mhm.
then there's times where it drops off and it kind of changes what you have to focus on, right? So it's helpful to
Yeah.
be able to recognize the different seasons. But you mentioned mindset, right? And like
Mhm.
a lot of people, when things get quiet, um, instead of just knowing what to focus on, and instead of staying mentally stable and staying mentally strong and just focusing on the right things, people start to panic, right? And kind of they panic and scramble, or sometimes they completely withdraw, right? The mental health doesn't hold up and they completely withdraw from their business and stop doing anything, and then it gets worse, right? And that, I think that's really common. So
Yeah.
what do you say to the guys watching who might be going through that right now? What, like, in terms of mental fortitude,
Mhm.
what kind of stuff have we done together to help you through those times and to equip you for future when inevitably there's going to be more of those valleys, more of those dips,
Mhm.
to help keep you on top of things?
I mean, one, first and foremost, just having that open communication between each other throughout the whole process. Like, me just relaying to you my current situation, and essentially you talking me off of ledges occasionally. Because there are times where, you know, that mental fortitude, it only takes you so strong, takes you so far. You know, it's the same thing that I deal with, you know, with my clients, is like they, you know, reach those points where, like, those sticking points. And a lot of times, you know, like we've done through like breath work, you know, doing like mental exercises, and or just like helping me through like conversations where, like, you know, I'm stuck on certain points and just can't, you know, for whatever reason can't get past certain things, just like relaying over, like, hey, like I'm in this situation, what, you know, what's your advice on this, or like how would you direct this, just having that support there behind me, you know, really like helps mentally too. Like it helps me get out of that, just knowing that you're there. Like if, you know, shit hits the fan, lack of better words, you know, I can have another set of eyes there to kind of see, you know, get a 1,000-foot view of my situation, and then just provide, you know, the advice that's helped me get this far, you know, just when I need it, you know. So just having that level of communication with you, you know, there's a reason I've, you know, been with you for like 2 years now. You know, there's a reason for it. So just being able to talk to you and walk you through getting good, you know, quality advice back, and then just even, you know, like working through doing different mental exercises and stuff with me, you know, like that's huge. That's helped me a ton.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's a pleasure to be in that position to be able to help in that way, because I know how isolating it can feel when you're
Yeah.
in business for yourself. Um, and it feels like it's you versus the world, right? It feels like you've got the
Oh yeah,
world on your shoulders sometimes. Um,
exactly.
so it's really helpful to have that support to help remind you what to focus on, and to help remind you that it's not personal, right? When people
Yeah.
don't sign up, and this is what I've been talking about in my content a lot the last couple of weeks, because
Yeah.
I see this the most with guys who are struggling. They're taking it personally, right? If clients finish up, or if they don't get the sale that they were hoping for, or if they don't have enough
Hmm.
leads, they it kind of they feel like it reflects on them as a person. It reflects on their value as a coach, or as a person. And
Yeah.
I think it's really important to be able to remove yourself from that mental noise, and
Mhm.
all the shit that your mind starts to create, all the
Yeah.
doubt and all the fear that your mind starts to manufacture, to which just ends up keeping you stuck and making the problem worse. So just being able to find peace, to have those anchors like we've talked about, right? Having anchors to bring you
Hmm.
back to just bring you back to equilibrium, so you can actually focus. You can actually
Yeah.
focus on putting out content. You're communicating with your leads and having effective sales calls, without all the fear and doubt and, oh my god, what if they don't sign up, and oh my god, I'm gonna be broke here, all this
Yeah.
fear that the mind makes up.
All
So
that scarcity. Yeah.
yeah, scarcity, right? But really, there's for all of you watching, there's no shortage of people out there for you to help, right? Because the world is kind of going to hell in a handbasket a little bit, right? So
Yeah.
people have no idea how to take care of themselves. People are depressed. People are overweight. People are sick. People are weak. People are injured. Marriages and relationships are falling apart. It's really sad. So having more coaches doing this kind of work is very much needed. So
Yeah.
what do you say to guys who are kind of trying to make this thing work, and they're trying to help people become healthier, become happier, trying to help people with their relationship, trying to coach people to improve in any area of life, and they kind of feel like it's saturated, and oh, it's never going to work because the market's too saturated. I mean, do you agree with that? What do you say to encourage these guys?
No, yeah, it's definitely, it's all right. My internet's a little bit bad right now, but definitely not saturated. It's, you know, you can always carve out a niche somewhere, you know, and like you've showed that to me, you know, because like there are times where it's like, oh my gosh, like there's so many different coaches and stuff out there, but like you were saying, more and more people need them. The demand's getting higher and higher, so there is no shortage. You know, it's like there's no shortage at all of people
Mm,
who need this. So just know that people do need this. And like you were saying earlier too, like don't, one of the main things I had to work on was like not taking it personally if people, you know, do not decide to sign up. That has helped so much. Just like knowing like, hey, like going out there with that mindset, like you've taught me, like you're going out there to just help people, and if they don't want it or don't feel that they need it, that's not a reflection of you, that's on them. But there's no shortage of clients, like I continually finding new clients, obviously with your help, there's no shortage. Just keep pushing, keep doing what keep doing what your heart wants with all of this. If you want to help people, continue to do it. You'll find a way with this.
Yeah, and I feel like it's important to be yourself and put yourself,
Yeah.
you like, while it's not personal, like I said, don't take it personally, but also you are the vessel of your message, right? You're the facilitator of the support you provide. So it's important that your audience sees who you are and they see you often. So it's important that you're not invisible. And it's important that you actually show that it's important that you show that you care about your mission, and you show
Yeah.
that you can help. And if there's people you have helped, show that you have helped them, right? And like we said, it appears to be a saturated market, but I don't think it is, because we know that even with, like, you're in the fitness space, right? You help people incorporate strength training and nutrition and the gym as part of their life, so that they can see improvements across the board in their life. And we know that there's a good 80% of the population still doesn't use the gym.
Yeah.
So and I believe, and I know you believe, everybody should strength train. Everybody should be doing some kind of strength training. So what do you think about that? Like, why should everybody train? What's the, I mean, there's the physical benefits, but what about outside of that? Why should somebody train other than just looking better?
Yeah. I mean, it bleeds into every aspect of your life, no matter what, you do for a living, what your current relationship status is, what you're doing with your friends. Strength training will the effects of that will bleed into everything in a positive way. Nothing will decrease, if you start strength training. Like if you, start getting in better shape, you're going to have more energy throughout the day. You're going to feel better, which will in turn help you perform better at work. If you feel better, look better, your spouse, spouse, they'll say that, they love you no matter how you look, how you do everything, but they'd be lying if they said that it wouldn't be even better if you were in better shape and you're there to take care of, you're able to take care of more people. You're able to service more. You have more energy to hang out with friends. Everything improves when you strength train. It's not just, oh yeah, I look better at the beach, going to get more girls, or like look better. Yeah. Like it's not just that, like everything improves. Like the amount of clients that I've worked with that got significant raises like shortly after losing like 20-30 pounds, it got like massive raises and bonuses. It's not just a coincidence. So
Wow.
it bleeds everything.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, because I mean, yeah, and great answer. I feel like strength training is, and we talk about this a lot on our calls too, because this is the kind of thing that your audience will benefit from hearing. This is what's going to get them off the couch and into the gym, right? It's like there has to be a strong enough reason, right? And it's like to train is to deliberately do something hard on purpose. Doing something hard and doing something, for most people, uncomfortable by choice. And most people have none of that in their life, and they're miserable, right? So they're in their comfort zone. They're on the couch. They're watching Netflix. They're going to their job every day. They're doing the bare minimum, just kind of getting by. But they're deeply unhappy and unfulfilled, right? And they don't realize that just a bit of struggle of the right kind is going to be just the thing to start lifting them out of that.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you deliberately do something hard, then the hard stuff in your life that you can't control isn't so bad, right? Because you're deliberately exposing yourself to something challenging and overcoming it. You get that dopamine effect from that. But most people are unwilling to do that because they're hooked on these these immediate rewards that are just like cheap
Yeah.
thrills. So, and it's ironic because it's the easy, comfortable way to live, but it's unfulfilling, and these people are unhappy, they're overweight, they're weak, they're injured, they're tired, relationships falling apart, not doing well at work. So it's
Yeah.
all linked. So I mean, you know, the message to those guys out there who are trying to do this as a career, trying to be a coach, it's needed. This stuff's needed, but you have to just talk to your audience about the right stuff. You have to meet them where they're at, right? So, I mean, I think back a couple of years ago, what kind of stuff were you telling your audience, right? You were trying to get people to start training. What kind of stuff were you telling them back then compared to now?
Yeah, like back then it was all just like the superficial stuff. Like, hey, like, get a six pack before summer, like let's start leaning out, so you can look good on the beach. It's the middle way. Like I feel like you and I have very similar perspectives on health too. And it's like after, working with you and everything, like I've, my perspective on everything has grown too, where like I said, yeah, it was all about, I was just coming out of college when I started. So I was still in that, like look good on the beach, look good for this, and then as I've, kind of gotten into it more and more, it just, everything else kind of gets involved. First, it was just training, working out at the gym. And it's like, okay, then we got to fix the nutrition to get there. And it's like, okay, I got these going, but, need to add in, sleep. And it's like, okay, I'm sleeping well, but I'm stressed out. It's like you realize everything kind of comes in and plays a role in this too. So it's definitely grown, substantially, since I've first got into this, like my whole mindset around it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you and I are both coaches. I have a background in personal training as well, and health coaching. And it's like we talk about all the time. Health is the foundation for everything else. So, you know, if there's someone who is having a hard time with their career or with their relationship or with anything in their life, something that you can always do, it doesn't matter how bad it is for you, it doesn't matter how broke you are, it doesn't matter how desperate you are, how depressed you are. It's always a good idea to start from yourself and
Yeah.
work outwards. So if you just feel lost in your life and you don't know what to do, I strongly believe that anyone, anywhere, doesn't matter how bad it is, you can always start from your own backyard. Always start with, hey, what can I do to build myself up? What can I do to work on myself? What can I do to make myself more disciplined, patient, resilient, organized, right? Start
Exactly.
and the hard thing, the reason why people don't embrace that kind of mentality is because that first step takes a lot of courage. Takes courage to say, like I said before, to deliberately choose to do something uncomfortable and challenging. I'm going to go and do this thing that scares the hell out of me, right? I'm going to do this thing that I really don't feel like doing. I really want to just not do it, and instead I just want to keep watching Netflix, or keep eating junk food, or keep drinking alcohol, or whatever it is. Keep on feeding the vices, because it's easy and it's comfortable, but it's keeping me depressed, it's keeping me trapped, and it's keeping me in a bad situation in my life. So we need more coaches. We need more coaches because it takes a bit of support to get someone to muster up the courage to take that first step, to properly break down their goal into little goals and help them slowly gain confidence over time and imagine who they want to become, and plan that process out appropriately so they actually become that person by changing their behavior and changing their thoughts. It's not something that's easy to do on your own just by choice. It's important to have support with that, right? So the work you're doing is brilliant, and I commend you for it. You've changed the lives of many men, and you're going to continue to do so, and I'm excited for it. But there's so many out there who are wanting to do what you do, and not sure kind of where to start, and not sure what to do about learning the things they don't know how to do in terms of building relationships with their leads, putting out content that speaks about the kind of stuff we're speaking about here in the right way so it's well received. How to make sales, how to challenge people to actually commit to something uncomfortable, how to stay firm and stay strong and not take these things personally when business isn't going well and the rest of it. There's all kinds of challenges that come with being in business for yourself and doing this kind of work, and it takes some toughness and
Yeah.
it takes some courage. So, well, what do you say to those guys?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, just go for it. Like this is, um, I mean, like you said, this is such a great industry to be in since you're helping people and continuing to learn and provide that to other people is obviously amazing. And then, if you don't know how exactly to do it, or you like, or you want to do it in a way where because I feel like a lot of people go into it and they, find out from other people like, oh, you should do XYZ to get clients, just like put out there, just general shit. And then, like these other coaches will like, have you just treat clients like another number, so like what I've learned
Yeah.
from you is like, if you put out that you genuinely care, that you genuinely give a shit, and then like actually support people just like you do with, your clients, like it will come to you, like it will, it will end up working. So yeah, it's just go for it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, man. So yeah, man, it's always a pleasure to have you on. I love talking about this stuff because I feel like it's like the fabric of society. It's like the foundation of everything, right? If each individual took more care with improving themselves and setting themselves up so that they're not a victim and they're not outsourcing their responsibility, and they're willing to accept that where they've ended up is a result of their behaviors and their thoughts and their choices, instead of always looking for someone to blame and always looking for the easy way out, then
Yep.
the world will be better, right? And
Yeah.
people making sure that they can be the one to take care of the people around them instead of being the one who everyone around them has to take care of. um,
Exactly.
it takes more coaches to guide people towards making those kinds of changes. So
Mhm.
it's a much needed field of work, and
Yep.
proud of you for being part of it. And yeah, and I thank you for coming on and having a chat about it.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate you bringing me on and everything you've done to help me get to this point. I couldn't have done this without you. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. All right. Well, thank you so much, and I'll catch you next time.
Awesome. See you.